Hello, you guys. Welcome back. Oh, that is not the intro to this podcast. What do I even say? I feel like it's been an eternity since I've sat down and recorded a podcast episode. Let me think. Oh, is it just welcome back to another episode? What the fuck? I am so out of it right now. I feel like this is a common thing I keep saying in like the last couple of episodes. I'm like, oh my God, my brain is scrambled. I don't even know what's going on. Like, I still feel that way. I feel like I'm running on literally no gas. That's not even a phrase. I have no energy. I have no source of anything. What am I saying? What is my intro? Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my podcast, Things Could Be Worse. I'm your host, baileydedrick, and I am losing my goddamn mind, okay? I'm losing my mind. But anyways, like I was saying, this month has been crazy, and if you don't exactly know what I mean by that, in the beginning of the month, I went to Cabo for my senior spring break trip with a bunch of my girlfriends, and it was literally the time of my life. I had so much fun, but it was so exhausting and tiring, and right when I got back, I had prom. And, that was great. Prom is fun, but it's also like a very exhausting activity. It's a very exhausting weekend, in my opinion. And then right after prom, I went to New York. Yeah, and today's episode is going to be all about New York, my New York trip, because I've talked about it a lot, like leading up to it, and I honestly was dreading it, and I talked about that, like I kept sharing with you guys that I wasn't excited for New York whatsoever, and a lot of you were confused, like, why aren't you excited to go to New York? What do you mean you're going to New York? That's so fun. Yeah. So fun, but also so exhausting. I already feel like nothing I'm saying is making any sense. But yeah. This month has been crazy. On top of all that I just mentioned, I was dealing with my little stalker in the beginning of the month, which now we know isn't a stalker. If you listen to last week's episode, everything is good. It's just the mailman delivering the mail. A lot of people were commenting like, well, it's still weird, like who delivers mail at 2 a.m. And I thought that too right away. I was like, that is such a weird time. Like, why are they delivering mail in the middle of the night? And then I remembered that a lot of people, read the newspaper in the morning. I know newspaper isn't like a thing that we really talk about or get anymore because we have like social media and stuff and like online news outlets. But back in the day, before, everything was online, people would wake up, brew their morning cup of coffee, walk outside to their mailbox and grab the newest paper, the morning edition, the early bird or whatever they call it. So it's not like a strange thing. It's just like whoever signs up for the local paper, it's probably only 20 people in my whole neighborhood, but they get their paper delivered in the middle of the night so that when they wake up in the morning, they have it, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I thought it was weird too, but once you think about it that way, it's like, oh, that totally makes sense why they're delivering it in the middle of the night. I'm trying to chug this energy drink right now, so I'm not completely boring this episode, but like I just can't make any promises. This is going to be a rough one. I am really going to do my best to talk about New York and to explain all of the craziness that went down there because I'm truly traumatized. Like, it was an amazing trip and I really don't want to sound ungrateful or like, I don't know, like I got to participate in an amazing opportunity and I'm so grateful and fortunate that I'm able to spend that type of money to go and see like a beautiful city that I've never seen before. So I'm really trying to be like, whatever, but like it was interesting to say the least. However, before I dive into all of the New York chaos and all of the story times, I do want to quickly talk about prom just because a lot of you guys are curious and asking me about how prom was and everything like that. I do have a YouTube video out on my main channel, baileydedrick, if you guys want to go watch it. It's a get ready with me plus like a little bit of a vlog type of thing. I think it's a really fun video. I love my Get Ready With Me's. If you guys haven't seen them in the past, I definitely recommend my Get Ready With Me's because I feel like they're my most personal videos that I make. Like, I feel like it's so, like, it feels like we're on FaceTime type of thing, you know what I mean? So I love that format of videos, oh my God. What am I even talking about? But yeah, prom was good. In the video, it ends off with me and my friends talking about how prom was terrible. The actual dance, you guys, was terrible. It was not fun. It was so hot in the building that like my prom was being held at. It was I'm not even kidding, like 80 degrees in that bitch. And I was dying. I didn't even get the chance to get down, to get dirty, to pop that pussy. Why was that my choice of words? I don't know. I didn't even get the chance to dance because me just walking around in there, I was sweating and miserable. But there was like little food and stuff there. We literally stayed for like 45 minutes. I'm not even kidding. But, you know, the lead up to prom and the after party was great. I had a great time with all of my friends. So it's not like the whole night was a disaster. It was just like the actual prom dance that we went to was not the best. You know what I mean? It wasn't the most fun thing I've ever been at. So yeah, prom was good. I didn't have like super high expectations, so I think that kind of helped. Like I knew the dance itself was not going to be good, so I wasn't like let down at all because I knew going into it not to expect anything amazing. Sorry if you're watching visually and some things like moved around, like the mic position or like whatever moved around. I know that's annoying, but I had to get up and blow my nose because I'm so stuffed up right now. It's actually pissing me off. But anyways, prom took place on April 15th. And then moving forward a few days to April 18th is when we were leaving for New York. Yes, New York. I know I've talked a little bit about the whole backstory behind this New York trip and like why I went to New York and stuff like that. But in case you haven't listened to my past episodes and you're like, why the hell were you even going to New York? Like why is this trip like such a big deal? Like, why do you keep talking about it basically? There is like a whole backstory and I'm going to really, really, really quickly fill you in just in case you don't know the backstory. So basically, first semester of my senior year, so the last semester of school that I was in before I graduated, I took a fashion and interior design class. And with this class, every couple of years, they try to take a trip to New York City, just because New York City is like the fashion capital of the United States. And it just like makes sense. And it's a fun trip and it's a fun experience for students and for like the teachers and chaperones that go and stuff like that. So they try to do that at the very beginning of the school year. My teacher brought this trip up to us and like brought it to our attention and just started kind of like introducing the idea, told us to talk to our parents about it. And eventually we had to figure out if we were going to go or not. Me and my friend Liza that were in the class together decided we were going to do it. So over the next couple of months, there was like a payment plan. We paid like $2,400 for the entire trip, which seems like a lot, but if you hear all of the stuff that we ended up doing, like it definitely kind of evens out, I think. Like I think it was worth the money that we paid. But yeah, it's basically just a school field trip to New York. I think like 36 students and like 4 chaperones ended up going. And it was like the fashion and interior design classes, and then also some of my teachers, other students, like my fashion and interior design teacher, she has like other classes and she opened up the opportunity to them as well. So it wasn't just all fashion students, but like it was all her students, if that makes sense. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. Basically, there was a lot of people, and when you're going on a trip with that many students, it's stressful. Like, I can't even imagine being a chaperone or like a teacher in that situation, like bringing that many students to a state that most of them have never been to before, and then also on top of that, not just like a different state, but like one of the busiest cities in America. You know, it's a stressful job as a chaperone in that situation. So with that, they tried to definitely like scare us beforehand into behaving properly and not like doing anything stupid. So they were telling us beforehand like crazy things, like they were going to tape our doors shut at night and that we weren't allowed to wear ripped jeans or like crop tops. And it was like, I was kind of dreading it because of like all of the stuff they told us like prior to the trip. Like they were trying to scare us so that we like were on our best behavior, I think, because it ended up not being as strict as they were saying it was going to be, but like it was definitely scary, like leading up to it. They were like, we are literally, like it just seemed like we were going to be treated like I don't know exactly how I'm trying to get this out, but I was just like kind of dreading it because I don't know, there was like a lot of rules and stuff. But yeah, that's the whole little backstory. There's more I could say, but I don't really think you care. So I'm just going to get into it. And I'm going to be doing this in the same format that I did my Cabo trip recap episode. I'm just going to do day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And I'm going to walk through each of the days and I'm going to, kind of quickly brisk through it and then put more emphasis on like the funny stories and stuff like that. So day 1, I woke up at 3:30 a.m. and my mom and I drove to my friend Liza's house to pick her up. We had to be at the airport at 4:15 because our flight was at 6, which I still think is a little early. It's a little early. I know you're dealing with like a lot of students, but like 4:15 was really early, really early. So I got like 1 hour of sleep. I'm exhausted, but nonetheless, we get to the airport right around 4:15. I think we got there a few minutes before 4:15. Everything is going pretty smooth. I do want to quickly talk about there is 2 groups of students, okay? We got split into group 1 and group 2. So there was 2 different flights. On the way there, I flew with like half of the people and then the other half of the people flew separately. And throughout the trip, we were kind of split into these groups a few different times, but it was just like half of us students flying on one flight. So we get to the airport, everything's fine. We're seeing everybody for the first time. We're getting our boarding passes, we're checking our luggage, everything's going smooth, perfectly fine. We go through security, everything's perfectly fine. And then about 5 minutes after we go through security, we get an alert that there is some issue, some problem, some technical difficulty with our plane. And our plane is not able to fly. Our plane is donezo. She is retired. This plane is not going to work. It's not going to get us from point A to point B, right? So what does that mean? What does that mean? Our flight is delayed. Yes, our flight is delayed. Of course our flight's delayed. If you guys have seen any of my travel vlogs, you know that I have like the worst luck when it comes to flying and things being delayed and canceled. I truly think it's a sign from God telling me not to travel, but I refuse to listen to it because my greatest goal in life is to travel and see the world. Like that is the only thing that I want to achieve. Like that is my main goal. Like I want to be able to experience like different people and different cultures and different places. And every time I seem to travel, something seems to go wrong. So I don't know what that means. But anyways, flight gets delayed from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And this is not only annoying, but it's a big problem because we have a connecting flight in Chicago that takes off at 8 a.m. So we're supposed to get to Chicago around like 7 or something. It's only like an hour flight from where we live to Chicago. So it was supposed to be, like an hour layover in Chicago. And then we take off at 8 a.m. and then fly to New York. And unfortunately, our flight obviously was still going to be at our hometown airport at 9 a.m. So we were going to miss our connecting flight. If I was alone, not traveling with, adults that like were in charge of all that, I would have been so stressed out. But I was like, you know what? I'm here to just take orders. I am here to just listen to what the instructions are and go with the flow. So I just sat back. We got some food at the airport and the teachers were able to figure out like a different connecting flight, which is so good because we honestly could have gotten so screwed. When you're trying to get a new flight same day for a group of 20 people, that sounds like almost an impossible task. Like that is crazy that they were able to get a connecting flight that wasn't like crazy ridiculous timing and stuff like that. So it was honestly fine. The rest of the day's travels went perfectly smooth. The other group of students that I was talking about who had a different flight, they were supposed to originally get there after we did. But unfortunately, after our delay and stuff, we ended up getting there a lot later than they did. I think we landed around like 4:30 p.m. maybe. That sounds about right. But we were originally supposed to get there way earlier in the day, and we had plans to go to the Met, the art museum. And unfortunately, we had to miss out on that. The other group of people that flew in on the other flight, they were able to go, and I was like low-key jealous because that was something I was excited to go to. But whatever, shit happens. We got to the hotel. We took like a whole bus thing. like a, what is it called? Like a coach bus. And our tour guide met us at the airport and then kind of talked to us and introduced herself on the bus ride to our hotel. And then immediately when we got to the hotel, we had to run upstairs, put all of our stuff in our rooms, and immediately run back downstairs to be able to make our dinner reservation at like 5, I believe it was. So we literally walked into this nice ass pasta restaurant, Italian restaurant, in our gross airport fits. We're feeling musty. We have been up since 3 a.m. We're feeling disgusting. My hair is greasy. I am just not happy. You know what I mean? We're not happy. We're wearing our literal airport clothes to a nice restaurant. And on top of that, dinner sucked dick. It wasn't good. If you guys have never taken a group trip, which I mean, I hadn't, so this was news to me. But when you take a group trip like this, restaurants that accept your reservations are going to have a group menu. They're going to have, it's either like a field trip menu or just like a group dinner menu. And there's options of like 5 things that you can get on the menu. Like it's not, you don't have access to the whole restaurant's menu because that's just like too much work for the employees. Like it totally makes sense, but like I wasn't expecting this really. So we sit down at this pasta restaurant and there's like 4 options on the menu. You can get like a Caesar salad or like a house salad, and then you choose your main course and it's like a couple different types of pasta and then just like a pizza. Everybody at my table ended up getting either the pizza or this one like broccoli penne pasta and like olive oil. It sounded really good. It sucked. Like it literally, like the noodles were hard. The broccoli wasn't cooked. It was not good at all. We all ended up just like eating off the pizzas that the other people got because like I was not enjoying that pasta very much. So yeah, dinner wasn't the best, but I honestly wasn't too upset because I was kind of just like wishing dinner away. Like I just wanted to be done. I just wanted to leave. I wanted to go back to the hotel. I wanted to take a shower. I wanted to get all of my shit figured out, and I just wanted to relax because we hadn't relaxed. Like, I mean, obviously when you're sitting on a flight, that's relaxing, quote unquote, but like it's not. Like being at the airport all day, flying, it's stressful, it's exhausting. So I just wanted to be back at the hotel. After dinner though, we were able to split up into our little groups of 4. Basically all the hotel rooms, except for the boys' rooms, there was only like a few boys on the trip. So I don't think that there was 4 in every room, but all of the girls' rooms, there was 4 girls in every room, I believe. And it was like 2 queen beds, and you just like, those were your roommates for the trip. And it was me and one of my best friends, Eliza, and then 2 other girls, Jasmine. Sorry, I'm dying. Jasmine and Malia. And I've known these girls for like what feels like forever. Like I've always kind of known who they were. And, you know, we've kind of talked over the years, like a tiny bit here and there, but we were never like friends. Like I never really considered them my friends. I actually played basketball with Malia when we were literally in like 5th grade. And that's so funny. But yeah, like I've never been like actually friends with them or never actually like hung out with these girls. So I was honestly really excited to spend a week with them and, you know, make some new friends because I knew that they were going to be cool and I knew that we were going to vibe. I didn't expect us to vibe as well as we did. Like I truly walked away from New York with like 2 new, like great, amazing friends that I want to continue to hang out with. So like if the rest of the trip would have sucked, at least I would have had them at the end of it, which is kind of unfortunately what did happen. But yeah, we were able to split up into our little groups. I am so bad at telling stories. Why do I have a podcast? I am not sure. Basically, we just walked around Times Square in our little groups. We did a little bit of shopping. And then I think we went to McDonald's after because we were hungry because we did not eat much of our dinner because it was gross. But we got McDonald's, took it back to the room, got all of our stuff situated in our rooms, and then eventually went to bed. Day 2, we woke up at 7 a.m. because breakfast at the hotel restaurant was at 8 a.m. Breakfast every day was at 8 a.m., but I slept in on accident a few of the days, so this day we woke up at 7 a.m. I got eggs, toast, and some weird potato things. Everybody agreed that these potatoes were so fucking suspicious. I don't know what they were supposed to be. It was honestly like, it looked like a pile of mashed potatoes, but then they like weren't mashed. There was like chunks of potatoes in them. They didn't have any flavor. They literally just tasted like a raw potato. It was disgusting. They were trying to call them like breakfast potatoes, but in my eyes, breakfast potatoes are like hash browns or like the little chopped cubed potatoes, like breakfast potatoes. So potatoes were a 0 out of 10, but the rest of the food was really good. We finished breakfast at like 7:30. Like the restaurant was very quick and snappy. They got our food right out to us, probably because it was all pre-prepared, honestly, because there was 3 options on the fucking menu. But we ate really, really quickly, and we were like, okay, let's look at the itinerary for the day. And we noticed that our first activity wasn't until 10:30 a.m. And at this point, it was literally like 8:30. So we went up to the teachers and we were like, hey, can we go back to our room and just hang out in there for a little bit until we have to leave for the wax museum bullshit that we were going to do? They said yeah, and they said be back down here at 5:02, 5 minutes to whatever time. We just assumed, maybe we shouldn't have assumed, we just assumed they meant 5 to 10 because our first activity wasn't until 10:30, and wherever we were going, it was probably within a 30-minute walk. We just assumed, okay? We assumed they meant 5 to 10, 9:55. We go up to our rooms. I take my jeans off. I start editing a podcast. I start getting comfy. Some of the other girls, like I think 2 of the other girls were taking a nap. We were enjoying our little relaxation period. And that's when the phone starts ringing at 9:10. Just like a few minutes, like 20, 30 minutes after we actually go upstairs, the phone starts ringing and they're like, where the hell are you guys? And we're all like, what? What do you mean, where are we? Like, we're in our room. You told us to go to our room until 9:55. And they're like, no, 8:55, you dumbass bitches. So this is our first mistake. And let me tell you, we made plenty of other mistakes. And by the end of the trip, I think everyone hated us. Like, I think everyone wanted to kill us. So we walked downstairs into the lobby of this fucking hotel, and everyone starts cheering, starts clapping. I don't just mean the people we're with. I don't mean just the students and the teachers. I mean everyone. They got everyone in that damn fucking lobby. Sorry, I'm getting pissed off. They got everyone in that lobby to start, woo, woo, they're here. They got everybody to cheer for us. I saw like old men clapping away. Oh my God, the rest of our group is here. Fuck off. Fuck off. It was a misunderstanding. Anyways, right after that, we started walking to Madame Tussauds. I'm not exactly sure how to say that, but it's the wax museum, the huge like 6-story wax museum in New York City. It was really cool. I've never really been. I think I feel like I've been to a wax museum before. I feel like I might have gone to the one in Vegas or Hollywood maybe. I don't know. I feel like I'm tripping. Like somewhere in my memory, I have like a memory of a wax museum, but I'm not exactly sure when or where or what. So anyways, we go to this wax museum. We spend like an hour there. It was a pretty cool experience. It was fun. Definitely recommend, honestly, if you're there. I honestly don't know how much it costs because like everything was prepaid for because we like paid up front for everything. So if it's really expensive, I don't recommend, but if it's like $30 or something like that, then I do recommend. It was cool. After the wax museum, we were able to go walk around alone in our little groups again, and we got Starbucks, and then we walked Fifth Avenue as a group. We checked out like the old public library, Grand Central Station, Rockefeller Center, St. Patrick Church, basically like all of the touristy thingies around Fifth Avenue, if you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know, nothing really significant. It was just cool to see all of it. Grand Central Station is so beautiful. Like the architecture in New York City, you guys, I've never been to New York. Like I knew the architecture is beautiful, like I've always heard that, but like these buildings that have been around for like whatever, I don't even know how long, but like these buildings that have been around since like the beginning of New York, it's crazy. Like the architecture is so beautiful. So it was really cool seeing all of that, but it was a little long-winded. Like it felt like, oh my God, there was no rest whatsoever. It was one thing after the other. My feet were blistered by like the end of the first day. Like I was in so much pain. I just had to push through. If I could show you my feet right now, which I'm not going to because people are disgusting and I'm not giving anybody any feet for free, especially not these feet, because these feet, require a trigger warning right now. I have like ginormous blisters covering my pinky toes. I don't know what that's all about. I've never experienced that before. I think it was the pair of boots that I had on like a couple of the days. I have blisters all over my feet and they were so painful the entire trip, and it was just honestly terrible. I look so pale. Sorry, I just caught a glimpse of myself in the camera monitor. Ew. But yeah, just one thing right after the other. If we ever had like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to spare, we had nothing planned, we would literally just take the subway across the entire like city and just go see something else. Like it was crazy. Like anytime we weren't doing something, best believe the tour guide found something for us to do, which is like cool because it's like, okay, we're paying to be in New York City and we want to get the most out of our trip, but it's like, God fucking damn it, I need to sit down, you fucking bitch. Okay, sorry, she wasn't a bitch. Actually, she was a bitch, and she would say that she's a bitch. But anyways, like I just needed to sit down this whole trip, like, ugh. Hello? Okay, so sorry again if you're watching visually and stuff changed around, it moved around. I had to stop recording both the audio and the visual for like 15 minutes because my mother called me, and I honestly don't remember what I was saying last. I think I was just talking about like the architecture. So beautiful. We were just walking around Fifth Ave, saw all of that, and then we went to the FIT fashion galleries. There was like a woman's fashion gallery with like beautiful dresses dating all the way back to like 1820 and like their explanations and stuff like that. It was super, super cool. And then on the downstairs level, there was another exhibit with like the history of like hip hop or like streetwear. And that was really cool. It was like brands like Gucci, like Tommy. I'm really blanking here, but like, I don't know, just like a bunch of like streetwear brands, like all the way going back to like the beginning of like hip hop fashion. I don't know, it was really cool. And they had like old pieces that like Doja Cat and like Cardi B and DJ Khaled. I don't remember the other ones, but there was like pieces that these people wore to like award shows or like the Met Gala and stuff like that. So that was really cool to see in person. We spent like an hour or so there, maybe a little bit less. And then right after that, we went home and went home back to the hotel, and then we had 30 minutes to get ready for dinner. We went to, I forget the name of it. I think it was like Gail's Broadway something, and it's basically a restaurant. It was right by our hotel, and they sing to you, like the waiters and the waitresses, they sing while they're not delivering food. So like they'll take your damn order, and then like 5 minutes later they're up there singing a musical, like they're doing a full-on Broadway show in this restaurant. It was really cool at first, and like the whole concept is really cool, but unfortunately I got very pissed off because like musical like theater songs and like the style of singing is like very loud and dramatic and obnoxious for me, and I was just trying to peacefully eat my chicken sandwich, and they're just like screaming these songs, and like it was cool and all, but it was like, wow, this is crazy. All of them were such good singers, though. It was incredible. Right after that, we walked to a Broadway theater and we saw the Broadway show Six, which is a modern day, like a modernized take on Henry VIII's Six Wives. And it was really cool. I don't want to like get too much into it, but basically the whole premise is that each of the wives were based on like a modern day singer, musician. So like one of them was like based on like Ariana Grande and like someone else. And then there was like Adele, and it was like they all like fit their personalities like with these modern day musicians, and it was really cool because you could like very easily distinctly tell which was which. And then they all told their stories and like what happened to them back in whatever year Henry VIII was alive. And then it was like a whole competition on who lived the most tragic life, because if you know anything about like Henry VIII, he like killed like multiple of his wives, like some of them died like tragic deaths, and it was just like it's a crazy story. So yeah, I don't know. It was a really, really good show, and it was pretty short. It just seemed like, I don't know, like it was the perfect length for what it was, and I really enjoyed it. And then after that, we walked around Times Square in our little group of 4 again. We took some pictures. We went into a few stores, and that was pretty much it for day 2. On day 3, we tried to wake up earlier than we did on day 2 just because we felt like we did not have enough time to get ready waking up at 7. So we set our alarms for like 6:45, and then actually I ended up laying in bed till like 7:30 that day. We got breakfast. I got like a granola bowl thing this time, and it was really good, except for the fact that there was literally like 2 cups of granola to like a half a cup of yogurt. It was so weird. Like the whole bottom part of my bowl was just granola, and then it was like a little bit of yogurt and some fruit and some like honey on top. It was crazy. It was really good, but it was crazy. Then we took the subway into SoHo, and we had to split up into our 2 little groups again. So like the first flight and the second flight, each group split up, right? The second group went into this little business seminar thing with this lady in SoHo that has a shop and makes hats. She's been around for like 15 years or something in the SoHo area, and she makes hats for all types of events like the Kentucky Derby, and she's like, I guess, really well known around the hat space. I'm not in the hat space, so I wouldn't know, but this lady told us basically like her whole life story, and just talked about like her business and how she got started. And it was cool, but it was just like, it was really long. We were in there for like an hour. But anyways, the other flight group, they went in first, and then we had the opportunity to go shopping first. But unfortunately, it was only like 10 a.m. at this point, and all of the shops in SoHo didn't open until 11 a.m. And we had to be back at the Hat Lady's place at like 10:45 so that we could go in for our little, meeting. So we didn't get to do any shopping, and we were so pissed off because I had like this whole idea that we were gonna like go to all the cute boutiques in SoHo. Like SoHo is known for its like shopping. There's like super high-end designer stores, and then there's also like local boutiques that are only in SoHo. So I was so excited to go shopping there, and then we weren't able to. So I was pissed off and not happy. But after like an hour of doing that, we had to walk back to the Hat Lady place and get ready to meet with her in our little group. And then we listened to her talk for like an hour. And then after that, they gave us like an hour or an hour and a half or something like that to go get lunch on our own in our little groups and then shop. So we ended up going in like a few stores. I didn't end up getting anything. We went into like Frankie's Bikinis and I don't know. There was a few other stores. I don't remember, but I didn't buy anything, which is probably good. After that, we took the subway to Madison Square Garden, where we were supposed to have a tour at 2:30 p.m. When we got there, we found out it was canceled. They canceled all the tours for the day because the New York Knicks showed up for like a last-minute practice. Obviously, if you know anything about the NBA, like the playoffs are going on right now, so you can't really control that. Like obviously, they probably had like a game the next day and they just wanted to get in a quick practice or whatever. So we had to cancel our tour, which I was kind of disappointed about. I don't think a lot of people cared because like I'm not trying to be like sexist or whatever, but like most girls don't really give a fuck about basketball, where like my older brother basically has forced me since a very young age to like care and to be interested. And I used to play basketball, and like I really do enjoy watching the NBA. I really only follow like the Bucks just because that's like our team here, but like I do, like I'll watch any NBA game that's on, and obviously like the playoffs are super fun to watch and keep up with. So I was honestly really excited to see Madison Square Garden just because it is such like a huge arena. It's such like a cool thing. So I was excited to see it. It got canceled, whatever. Last minute, like I said earlier, if anything, if we have any extra time, if we have something go wrong, the tour guide is on it. She is finding the next best thing to do. So she makes a few calls, and next thing I know, we are walking to the Radio City Music Hall to get a full in-depth tour of the entire theater. And I'm like, I didn't want to do it. I wanted to go home. I think everybody was on the same page. Everybody just wanted to go back to the hotel so that we had more time to get ready for dinner and the Broadway show, because we had 30 minutes the day before and it was just like stressful. You know what I mean? So I was just kind of being a little bitch. Like I complained so much this week. I actually am embarrassed how much I complain, because complaining is not good, and I've been trying to get better at being positive and like not complaining. But like, you guys, I was so tired. My feet were literally bleeding. I just wanted to go back to the damn hotel, and they're like, all right, we're gonna go see this theater. I don't care. Like, I truly don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, but like, I don't need a full in-depth tour of it. The tour was cool. We saw one of like the Rockettes. Like, she talked to us, which I literally don't care. Like, I don't care. Some people might have cared. I don't care. And then we went back to the hotel. Again, had like 30 minutes to get ready. And then we went to dinner at Hard Rock Cafe. And it was really, really good. Again, we only had like 5 options on the menu. But luckily, one of them was a Caesar salad, a chicken Caesar salad. And all 4 of us, like, were in the mood for a Caesar salad. So we were like sitting together at our own little table. For most of the dinners, we were able to kind of like sit secluded, like just with our little group, which was nice. It wasn't like a huge table. But yeah, we got chicken Caesar salads. It was really good. We got some cookies. I shoved one of them in my purse so that I could eat it at the Broadway show later. And then we went to Wicked, which I've seen before at like our local theater or whatever in our town, and I really enjoyed it back then when I was younger. And sorry about that voice crack. I really enjoyed it back when I was younger, and I enjoyed it again. It honestly though, like, it's a little overhyped. Like, I get it. It's a really good story and like the performance was great, but it's like a little long-winded. Like, I feel like it could be shorter. I feel like they include a lot that doesn't need to be included. So I kind of just wanted it to be over. But it's nice. Like, the Broadway shows were really nice because it was like the only time that we were able to just like sit down and relax. So I don't know. It wasn't bad. It was a great show, but whatever. After the show, we walked around Times Square for a little bit again, went in a few shops, basically just like explored. There's so much to see in Times Square, and yeah, we just walked around. Day 4, we accidentally slept in late again, got breakfast, and then we took the subway down towards like the financial district, and we took a ferry out to the Statue of Liberty and to Ellis Island. And we got lunch at Ellis Island. It was like some weird like cafe type of thing. The food was really weird. It reminded me of like school lunch, which, I mean, I don't know, like, I feel like they could do better. It was literally like school lunch. It was quite weird. It was really, really cool to see though, and I'm glad I got to go, just because I don't know when else in my life I'm gonna go do that. Because if I go to, like, I plan on going to New York. Like, honestly, I would love to live in New York someday. Not like New York, like nowhere near Times Square, but I think it would be really cool. I mean, obviously, if I get money, SoHo would be the dream. I would love to live in SoHo, but it literally costs like $6,000 for like a studio apartment. So I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. But I would love to live in like SoHo, Chelsea. Oh my God, Chelsea is beautiful, but that is literally like the most expensive place to live, I think, like the most expensive real estate. But what I'm trying to say is I plan to go to New York at least, you know, a couple more times in my life. I would love to stay there for like an extended period of time at some point, but like I'm never gonna go do these like touristy things ever again. So it was good that I got like all of the touristy things out of my system in this 1 week, if that makes sense. It was like a really good first way to see the city before I go actually just like go there on my own. But yeah, Ellis Island was cool. Eventually we wrapped up the little self-guided tour, and we met our tour guides and chaperones in the place they told us at the time they told us, and we got in line to get the ferry ride back. And we stand in line for like 30 minutes, maybe like 20 minutes. I don't know if I'm being dramatic. We stand in line, we wait for the fucking ferry to get there. Right as we approach the front of the line, there's like only a few people in front of us. They close the entrance to the ferry and it's full. So they tell us to wait for the next ride, which will be 30 to 40 minutes. And the thing is, we can't leave the line because we'll lose our spot in line, and there's hundreds of people behind us already. So we have to stand there for like 30, 40 minutes, just standing there. I'm wearing actually, I think I was wearing my tennis shoes, but my feet hurt so fucking bad. Like, I can't even explain to you the pain that I felt. Like, I think everybody thought I was being dramatic. You guys, I wish that you could see these blisters on my toes because it is terrible. Finally, another ferry came and got us. Then we walked around the financial district for a couple hours. I almost fought one of these fucking teachers, you guys. I don't know what like school she teaches at. She doesn't teach at my school. She teaches at like one of the other schools in the school district, because like a few kids from other schools came. I don't think I said that, but they did. So this teacher, let me tell you, I'm so, like, I feel like this is really mean to say online, especially, like, I mean, there's no way she's listening to it, but, like, my actual teacher might be listening to this. I feel like she wouldn't, but I don't know, guys. This teacher, y'all, she acted like a child. Like, she is a literal child. First of all, she looks like a child, which I'm not going to judge you if you look like a child, but, like, she literally acted like a fucking child. She'd be, like, sitting at dinner with, like, her legs tucked up, like, you know how, like, oh my God, it was pissing me off so much, you guys. She literally was sick, throwing up the first 2 days, okay? So she's not walking around. She's not, waking up at 6:45 and then not coming home until 10 p.m. Like, she wasn't doing that the first 2 days. And she was just in bed laying. Obviously, she's sick, so, like, whatever. But let me tell you, this day we were getting back from, like, the ferry, and we were walking from the ferry to, like, the financial district part that we were going to walk around. And she is just bitching. Her and this other teacher are just bitching. The whole fucking trip, they're yelling at us, like, literally yelling at us. Fill in the gaps, you guys, like, keep up, you have to walk faster, like, literally just on our fucking asses. And we're all exhausted, we're all in pain. I'm literally, like, limping at this point. And this little bitch, she has the audacity to say, like, okay, wait, this is how she talks. Okay, I feel really mean saying this, but I don't care. I'm never going to see her again. She's like, guys, let's go. I have more pep in my step than you. Like, come on, guys. I should not have more pep in my step than you. Like, come on, guys. We need to fill in the gaps. Let's go. And I literally wanted to swing on her ass. Like, bitch, you have more pep in your step than me because you've been laying in bed for the last 2 days while my feet have been deteriorating in my boots. You know what I mean? I literally just wanted to hit her because that's not the only like bullshit she said. She literally just, like, I don't know. She was just pissing me off. And I was like, you aren't going to be respected if you don't respect us. Like, if we liked you and we thought you were a cool, nice teacher and you were, like, nice to us, we wouldn't be talking shit. We wouldn't want to fight you right now. So, like, it's not on us. It's on you. But, like, just, like, super bossy and just, like, annoying. Like, I get it. We have to all keep up with each other. But then, like, eventually she was at, like, the back of the group. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, super, super weird vibes I didn't like. And I honestly wanted to fight her. And she, like, one of the other teachers, like, this girl, she, like, had a fanny pack on and, like, her fanny pack was open and she, like, accidentally dropped, like, a bunch of her shit out of her fanny pack, like, while we were walking. And these teachers just get on her ass. They're like, this is why you should have a bag. And I was like, she literally has a fucking bag. Like, do you think she meant for it to be unzipped and for her to spill everything? Like, this wasn't her fucking plan. Don't be a fucking bitch, you fucking bitch. Okay, I need to stop cussing. So sorry, but they got on my nerves that day. It wasn't my teacher. Like, I swear, like, I love my teacher. My fashion interior design teacher, she's, like, one of my favorite teachers ever. She's so sweet. She's so fun. But it's just, like, the other teachers that were there that I didn't know previously that were getting on my ass. I'm going to stop complaining, but we walked around the financial district. We saw, like, Trinity Church, the Bull statue, the Stock Exchange. We went to the 9/11 Memorial. We went to East River and looked at Brooklyn Bridge. And then we finally took the subway home and got ready for dinner at some Italian place. I'm just reading this word for word off this because I'm too tired to speak freely. It was super cute and my favorite food of the entire trip. They brought out, instead of, like, us ordering off of a menu of, like, five items, they brought out, like, salads first. They were really, really good Caesar salads. And then they brought out, like, 2 different types of pasta. And then they brought out, like, pepperoni pizza and cheese pizza. And they just always kept our table full for us to eat until we were full. And the food was really good. And I really liked that, like, format of eating. Like, they just brought it out to us. I don't know. So that was good. And then we went to Moulin Rouge on Broadway. And let me tell you guys, you need to see Moulin Rouge at some point in your life. It was the most amazing thing I've ever fucking witnessed. It was so good. It was way better than I even expected. Like, I knew it was going to be good. And I was, like, the most excited for that show, like, leading up to the trip. But it completely exceeded my expectations. I was, like, crying at one point. I was laughing. And then once again, we walked around Times Square in our little group. We did some shopping and we got Krispy Kreme for the morning so that we could sleep in and skip breakfast with the group. We just wanted to, like, sleep in just, like, 30, 40 extra minutes and just, like, eat donuts instead of going to breakfast. One, because the breakfast food wasn't that great. Two, because we were waking up way earlier than we actually needed to. Day 5, we meant to sleep in just like 30-40 minutes extra, like I just said. But unfortunately, we woke up super late this day, and I laid in bed for so long. My friends were all getting ready, like halfway ready. They were like done with their makeup, and I was still laying in bed like, oh my God, I need to get up. So we were super rushed getting ready, and then I literally just like shoved a donut in my face as we were heading out the door. We walked 20 minutes to some office building and had a meeting with some social media manager type of thing, TikTok person. And we literally listened to her entire life story. Basically, she grew up in like Jersey or somewhere. I don't even know if that was right. I think she grew up in Jersey, and then she went to Penn State, and then she like started working for some company, like doing all of their social media, and now she works for some other company doing their social media, and now she's like started to grow her own TikTok following, and just like, I don't know, like it was cool, but I really didn't see the point. Like she just told us about her life, and I just felt like that was a little bit extra. Voice crack, oh my God. After that, we went to Hudson Yards. We saw the Vessel, which is just basically this cool architectural piece that I don't know if it's like German or Italian. I literally don't pay attention. Like I do not pay attention. We learned all about this stuff. Our tour guide was amazing. She was actually crazy. She was from somewhere in England, I believe. Devon, maybe? Is that a place? I'm not good at anything. Anyways, she had like a cute little English accent, and she was calling us babes and darling, and she was saying bloody hell the whole time. She was just so funny. She kept saying, get over yourself. Like that's something that they say a lot, and I've like adapted that into my own vocabulary now because I think it's so funny. Babes, get over yourself. Bloody hell. She was like definitely crazy though. Like she 1 minute like loved us. She was like hugging us. She like was so enthusiastic, and then she was like bitching at us. Like it was crazy. Anyways, we walked around the High Line elevated park into the Chelsea area, and then we had lunch at the Chelsea market, went shopping, came home, back to the hotel, got ready for dinner at some Irish pub, and then after dinner we went to the Top of the Rock Observatory before walking Fifth Ave alone in our little groups and shopping at Zara, and then we stopped at CVS and then got home at 9:30 and had to pack up our stuff because we were leaving at 3 a.m. Again, I just read that word for word off my little note sheet here. Nothing really significant. The Zara was huge. It was so like I just wanted to buy everything. I ended up only getting 2 things. My self-control was amazing. But yeah, we got back to the hotel and we ended up door dashing McDonald's and just like hung out while we like slowly packed up all of our stuff. Someone like kept ding dong ditching us, like knocking at our hotel door and then running down the hall. And we spent like an hour trying to catch who it was and like figure it out. And at the end of it, we realized that we were all just doing it to each other, and there was not actually just like one culprit. Like we were all in on it and we were all doing it. And it was really fun. We actually like got together. I mean, if my teacher is listening to this, she's going to be like, what the fuck? Because we're not supposed to leave our rooms after curfew, which by the way, they didn't tape our doors shut or anything crazy like I was anticipating, because they literally told us they were going to do that. But they did come in and check our rooms every single night at our curfew. Like the first night that was like 9:45, and then like the rest of the nights it was like 10:45. So, wasn't too bad, but I kind of was pissed off. But we needed to wake up so early. Like I was so tired from the day that like 10:45 was a perfectly reasonable curfew to be in the room at. But anyways, we were all like running around the hotel, which is so funny. Like I felt like I was back in like my old like middle school basketball tournament days where you're like running through the hotels with like your teammates. That's literally what it felt like. I felt like I was like a little kid again, and it was so fun. But we could have gotten in trouble. So finally, that whole thing ended and we finished packing up the majority of our stuff. And that was at like 1 a.m. when we kind of finished, and we decided to take a little nap until like 2:45 because we just knew we were going to be so exhausted if we didn't sleep at all. So we all kind of agreed to like sleep for a little bit. So day 6, we were supposed to be in the hotel lobby ready to go check out of the hotel at 3:45 a.m. 3:45 a.m. And unfortunately, we didn't wake up to either our 2:30 a.m. alarm, our 2:45 alarm, our 3 a.m. alarm. We didn't wake up. We didn't fucking wake up. We woke up to a call at 3:50 5 minutes after we were supposed to be downstairs, all ready to go, we woke up to a call. Yeah, we fucked up. We fucked up bad. We shot out of bed. We started throwing the rest of our stuff into our suitcases. Liza's suitcase was still like sprawled open with like stuff falling out of it. Like, no, but like it was crazy. I started undressing, like I started taking off all my clothes just because I was so out of it. Like I literally was still asleep, and then I like shot out of bed. I start stripping. Jasmine starts taking her pants off. I realized I was like, I wore what I was going to wear to the airport so I didn't have to change in the morning. So I put my clothes back on. I was like, why did I just take all my clothes off? We're sprinting. I'm sprinting around. I'm grabbing my stuff from the bathroom. No time to brush my teeth. No time to brush my hair. No time to go to the bathroom. Like, we got out of that bitch in like 3 minutes. It was crazy. Liza ended up forgetting her Apple Watch, so we had to like sprint back upstairs. But it's okay because the fucking bus that was coming to pick us up was literally like 15 minutes late. So we weren't in like that much trouble. If the bus would have been waiting for us, they would have literally chewed our asses because that would have been so bad. But luckily for us, the bus was late, so we didn't seem that late. I also forgot the breakfast that I bought the night before at CVS. I didn't say that, but I just said we stopped at CVS after Zara. I grabbed like a Cliff Bar and like these little like pre-packaged like shitty donut things just so that I would have something to eat. So I grabbed that because I forgot it in the room. And then we finally got on the bus, went to the airport. Flights were all fine, but I was literally limping through the airport all day because it felt like my feet were falling off. It was so bad. Like, I was in so much pain. I was so tired. We were all just like so dead. It was like actually bad. But yeah, that was pretty much it for my New York trip. After I got home, I think we got home at like 10:30 a.m. on Sunday, which it's Tuesday when I'm filming this. So like a few days ago, Sunday, I got home at like 10:30 a.m. and I literally slept for 7 hours straight during the middle of the Sunday. Like, I had plans to like hang out with my boyfriend when I got back because like I obviously missed him. I literally just slept all day. I was so tired. And then I went to bed that night at like 10:30 and I woke up at like 10 a.m. So that means I slept for like 12 hours almost. And then I took another nap on Monday, like a 3-hour nap. Like, I slept so much when I got home. And I'm still exhausted. I'm still tired. I haven't recovered. It's going to take me like 2 weeks to recover, I think. But yeah, that was my little New York trip. I honestly could talk about so much more. I actually asked Liza to like try to remember. Oh, she didn't answer it. Liza, fuck you. No, I'm kidding. I asked Eliza, like, tell me like funny stories that I should remember to tell because I have terrible memories. So like she might have remembered a few funny things that I left out. But I think for the most part, I got it all. That was just like the really quick, brisk wrap up. Obviously, there was so many little things that happened during all of those big events that we did. But overall, it was a really cool trip. I wouldn't say it was my favorite trip ever. It was definitely it was probably my least favorite trip ever in terms of like all of the other trips I've been on. It's probably my least favorite trip, but it was probably one of the coolest, most action-packed trips. So it was like weigh out the pros and cons. It was incredibly exhausting. I was pissed off the whole time because not only were the teachers like kind of mean and bossy, like the other students that we were there with that I don't really know, a lot of them were just like really immature and they were pissing me off the entire time because they did not know how to act in public. And by the end of the trip, I was so fed up that I was acting like a little bitch. Like I don't know, like they just were so, like people lack common sense. Like I can't even tell you the amount of people that like almost got hit by cars because like they just didn't look when they were crossing the street. Like get your fucking shit together. I mean, I definitely almost got hit by a car a couple times, but like, I don't know, like I don't want to be mean. Everybody was fine, but there was just like a few people that were on the trip that just like kept pissing me off because they were just stupid. Like they didn't have common sense. But yeah, it was tiring. It was exhausting. My feet got brutally beat up. My legs almost fell off. I'm being so dramatic. Like that was the definition of this trip. Like me and the girls, like me and my friends that I was with, we are so damn dramatic, and we kept like not like talking shit, but we kept like complaining about things, and then we would literally take a step back and be like, you know, that TikTok sound, it's like, are we the problem? Are we the drama? Or what even is it? We were doing both of them. Like, we were the problem. We were the drama. We were complaining the whole time. But, like, at least we weren't fucking stupid, as we're the ones that, like, slept through, like, literally our ride to the airport. We were late. I don't know. We're the problem. We're the problem for sure. But, yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was a very interesting trip. I'm very glad that I went. Not only did I come away, like I said in the beginning, with 2 new really good friends that I want to, like, continue being friends with, but I was able to get a feel for New York and really explore like a huge area of it. Like, New York is such a big city, but I was able to see so much of it in just 1 week, and I honestly feel confident in, like, if I were to go there alone right now, I would kind of know my way around just off of that 1 week. Obviously, I'm not an expert by any means. Like, I would definitely get lost like 47 times, but like, I kind of know how it works, and like I kind of see how like the subway and stuff works now. And if I go there, like, me and my brother know I want to go there soon, probably sometime this summer, and like I'll be able to, you know, be able to recommend like my favorite places that I went and like stuff like that. So I don't know, I'm glad that I went. It was really a cool experience. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. I know it was very long-winded, and I know it probably wasn't that interesting. Definitely wasn't as interesting as the Cabo trip, just because I wasn't getting fucked up and like blacking out on like the cement in Mexico. But I think that it was kind of fun. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to follow the social medias for this podcast. Instagram and TikTok is both Things Could Be Worse pod, I believe. Go follow those. Rate the pod, leave a review. I'm so annoying. I hate myself. I'm literally pissing myself off so bad. Hopefully, once I get my mental health right, which should be happening this week, like into next week, I will be a little bit more okay in these episodes. I'll make a little bit more sense. I'll be a little bit more structured. This will be like the longest I've been home in literally over a month. And it's like I haven't even been home. Like, I think I've been home for like a week and a half at most this entire month. And that doesn't seem maybe that crazy, but it is for me. Like, I just need to be chilling for more than that. Anyways, okay. Love you. Bye.